Hey everybody. So, have you ever wanted to throw a cloud of powder into a crowd of enemies and watch them completely lose their minds? Because that is exactly what the hallucinating Mitsubushi does in Legends. On paper, it sounds like it's a cool legendary or even one of the coolest legendaries in the game. You blind your enemies, you turn them against each other, you sit back and you enjoy the chaos. And to be fair, it delivers on the chaos because watching Giant Oni suddenly decide that his closest allies are the real enemy is one of the funnier things that you can experience in Yotei. But after spending a lot of time testing this legendary, I have come to one conclusion. It is pretty fun, it is unique, but unfortunately, it's just not very good. So, today we're going to take a deep dive into everything you need to know about the hallucinating Mitsubushi, how it works, why it falls short, and which legendary I believe you should use instead. So, let's talk about one of the more entertaining but least effective legendary weapons in Yotei Legends. The hallucinating Mitsubushi is the legendary version of the Mitsubushi Ghost weapon. Now, this weapon releases a burst of blinding power around your character, which briefly disables nearby enemies. The legendary effect adds hallucination, which causes most enemies caught in the cloud to temporarily fight on your side. Their health bar turns purple, they stop attacking you, and they begin targeting enemies that are not hallucinated. It is a fantastic concept, and it's one of the more creative legendary effects in the game. At first glance, this weapon appears incredibly powerful because you are essentially converting enemies into temporary allies. You gain breathing room, you disrupt enemy attacks, and you create some truly hilarious moments. The cooldown is pretty short, so you can trigger this effect frequently throughout a mission. So, everything about it suggests that it should be a top tier crowd control tool, but in practice, things don't really go quite as well as you might hope. The core issue is simple: hallucinated enemies do almost no meaningful damage. They look threatening, they swing their weapons, they make a lot of noise, but they rarely accomplish much. So instead of turning enemies into powerful allies, you are mostly turning them into temporary distractions. That can still be useful, but it is far less impactful than the legendary description suggests. Also, the effect duration is short. Some tougher enemies appear resistant or immune. Teammates often kill hallucinated enemies before they can do anything useful. And because affected enemies cannot defend themselves, the most effective strategy is often to attack and kill them immediately rather than waiting for them to help. At that point, the hallucination becomes more of a novelty than a meaningful combat advantage. Now, despite all these drawbacks, I still recommend trying the hallucinating Mitsubushi at least once because it is very funny. Not every legendary needs to be meta defining. Sometimes the best gear is the one that creates memorable moments, and few weapons produce more entertaining chaos than this one. In solo story missions, it is especially enjoyable because you have time to watch the effect unfold and take full advantage of the confusion. If your goal is pure effectiveness, I would strongly recommend the Storm Tanzutsu instead. So, is the hallucinating Mitsubushi worth using? If you want one of the more creative and entertaining legendary effects in the game, sure. If you're looking for a strong legendary for serious endgame builds, no. The concept is brilliant, I think. The execution is hilarious, but the actual combat impact is very limited. Now, that said, fun matters, and the hallucinating Mitsubushi provides a type of battlefield chaos that no other weapon can match. Just don't expect it to carry your build. And if you do decide that you want something that is both exciting and genuinely powerful, again, the Storm Tanzutsu is waiting for you. Now, that is everything you need to know about the Hallucinating Metsubushi Legends. Let me know in the comments whether you have used this legendary yet, whether you think it's underrated, whether you think it's destined to remain one of the game's most silly gimmicks. Let me know. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content and you want to support the channel, there are a few ways that you can help out. First, drop a like on the video and share it with your friends, family, or anyone you think would enjoy it. It really helps the channel grow. Second, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss a future video. And third, if you would like to support me directly, you can do so at allbashgaming.com. In there, you can buy me a coffee, and now you can also rep the channel with your own merch. You can grab your Loot Goblin t-shirt or the classic "It's not a glitch, it's a tech" t-shirt over on my shop. All the links you need are in the description. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next one.